Hey there, Aubrey. How's it going today?
I'm great, Lindsay. How are you?
Good, excited to be here chatting about IELTS. Aubrey, what have you done today that was a necessary evil?
Oh, I love that you're using the phrase a necessary evil. This is a band 9 expression we're
Yes.
going to teach today. I love it. I had to move a bunch of furniture today. We're having windows replaced. A lot of the seals are broken, and they have newer high-tech windows that keep
Yeah.
the heat out and the cool air. It's like so it'll be more energy efficient to have these new windows, but we had to move
Yeah.
everything 4 feet away from the windows. So
Ugh,
beds,
definitely necessary
couches,
evil. Yeah.
everything. You don't realize how much is next to a window. It was a
It's
huge
so hard.
pain.
Yeah, it's a huge pain. I honestly, any kind of construction in your home is a major disruption.
Yes.
And we don't even realize like how much it kind of disturbs the mind. We came home from vacation in Italy and stuff was everywhere. We've got like our bed downstairs in the living room because the upstairs is being worked on. Major necessary evil to have to move
Yes.
around. But yeah, if you want to get construction done in your house, you have to get it. You have to do it, right?
Such a good example, right? When you're having to live in a small part of your house while there's construction in the rest of it, that's just a necessary evil. If you want to do
Awful.
any updates.
Yeah. I mean, on IELTS, Aubrey, do they ever ask us about chores?
Yes, you could be asked about chores, about lots of different things that you don't really like doing. So
Okay.
today's phrases will be perfect for being exaggerating a little bit.
Okay, so what are some of the questions we might get then? Just maybe a preview here. We'll see what
Yeah.
we might be asked, Aubrey, on part one.
Okay, on part 1, you might be asked, what's your least favorite chore? How
Okay.
often do you do chores? Did you do chores as a child? Or something like, who usually does the housework in your home?
Okay, and then as we move into part three, rather, it's going to be more societal questions, right? For example, should everyone in the family share housework? Why or why not? This is theoretical, right?
Exactly.
Philosophical. Do you think children should do chores? What's the benefit? How have chores changed compared to your parents' generation, right? So you could tell the nature of these answers are going to be very different.
Exactly, right? And today's vocab is perfect. Nobody loves chores, or at least not very many people.
No.
So this is great vocab for that. And part 2 as well, it could come up if your part 2 question is describe a chore you dislike.
Yes.
Or, describe a person. And when you describe a friend or something that happened, if you want to share what they don't like doing, this would be great vocab for that.
Yes, let's dive into the vocabulary because we know we need this, or we
Yes.
may need it for IELTS. So the first one, I love it though. It's a grind. This is a good one. My daily commute is such a grind. What am I saying here?
Yeah, this is like long, tiring, repetitive, often work or just anything. Your commute, your anything that is kind of boring and also hard.
Yeah, this was one of my dad's like signature phrases on Monday mornings. He would always say, "Back to the old grind."
Yes,
And then he would
totally.
walk
My
out the
dad says
door.
that too. And you might feel like your IELTS study is a grind, right? If you've been studying for quite a while. So if you're asked about something related to test preparation or work, this is a perfect phrase to call it a grind.
And it's fun. And it's not that common. I could guarantee that other candidates before and after you are not going to use this
Right. Yeah. It's
unless they
band
listen to
9.
this show.
Right. All of these phrases.
Yeah, exactly. Drudgery, another amazing word. Aubrey, what does it mean?
Yeah, work that is hard, boring, repetitive, tiring, especially tasks that require effort but don't have a lot of reward, right? It would be like, oh, this drudgery.
So a way we could put this into words, we could say my first job was pure drudgery. So I crossed over into sales and really love it.
Yes, you might be asked about work or study. You need high scoring vocabulary like this to answer those questions.
Yep. And another one that fits in with these words is a slog. Hard work that feels slow and unpleasant.
Yeah,
Right.
like getting through tax season is always a slog for an accountant. You could
Yeah.
say studying for IELTS has been a slog. It just means
Yeah.
it's like hard and it feels, like it's taking forever.
Yeah, I've even heard someone use this around a commute. My commute is a real slog.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Like you drive 2 hours and sit in traffic both ways, that kind of thing.
Miserable. Yeah, for sure. Or mundane. A lot of people would describe their commute as mundane as well. It means like ordinary, boring. All housework is pretty mundane, right? But you might say, I especially detest cleaning bathrooms, but I find all chores mundane.
Yeah, I feel like if I had to choose a chore, it's vacuuming because it's the biggest bang for your buck. It's like, it's satisfying. You see your results and it's so beautiful and it transforms the room right away, right?
Yes, I love the new cordless vacuums. You can just like grab it and vacuum really quick.
Yeah.
So good. Don't even have to plug it in.
But I'd rather not do chores at all.
Right? If we could choose, that would be our choice.
For sure. And then the last one for today is the phrase we heard at the top of the show, a necessary evil. This is something that is unpleasant but unavoidable. We gave some examples of having to move furniture when we have construction going on in our houses, right?
Or doing dishes is a necessary evil. We all have to do it. None of us like it. Any chore. It's a perfect example.
Necessary evil. So we're going to come back from the break in just a minute and we're going to give some sample answers.
Yes.
All right? Here we go. All right, Aubrey, we're back from the break and let's give our listeners a taste of how we might answer these questions.
Perfect. Yeah? All right. So, Lindsay, I'm going to ask you a part 1 question.
Yes.
What is your least favorite chore?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I have to say that my least favorite chore is cleaning the shower, right? So it's drudgery. It's pure drudgery for me. You're supposed to get in and really scrub the tiles, and it's just so mundane and honestly incredibly boring. There's so many things I'd rather be doing, but I guess it's a necessary evil because if I don't do it, the mildew will build up in the shower. So that would be
great answer.
Yeah.
I did what the examiner cannot do, right? Great answer. Unfortunately, your examiner's never going to say that.
Yeah, don't expect to hear that. You might hear that on the show a little bit here and there, but a little different.
We don't embody the examiner that often. We're just staying ourselves, but that is a great answer.
Show if we did.
You use so many of these words, and that's a good point here that if you are asked a question like this where they're all perfect, use them all, right? You weren't repeating anything. You can sometimes stack interesting words, or you said something else and pulled in another one.
Sure.
This is such a great tactic. This boosts your vocabulary score. And it's very possible that you won't be asked another question that you'd be able to use those in. So use them in that one.
Just jam them in as much as you, jam them in to the extent that they make sense, right?
Exactly.
And I think we did an episode recently about that, about stacking adjectives or about just increasing your score slightly in the way we introduce the adjectives.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And this is a great example. And you could even say like, what was this chore that you said that you don't like?
Cleaning the shower.
Yes, cleaning the shower, right? When you're just like, it's such a slog, it's a necessary evil, right? You could just use one, and then because we do this, we sort of immediately rephrase ourselves. So smart. Well, you've got them at the, on the tip of your brain.
Yes. All right, Aubrey, are you ready for your sample answer here?
Yes, let's hear it.
All right, this is a part 3 question now. Here we go. Should everyone in a household share housework? Why or why not?
Absolutely. We are not in the 50s anymore. It's actually shocking to me how many households don't share chores. This does happen sometimes. I'll find out from friends that it's very much sort of one person doing one thing. And granted, all chores are drudgery. None of us want to do it, right? It's a slog anytime I have to clean a bathroom or do laundry. But imagine if I were the only one doing all of that. If you have a partner that you can share these responsibilities with, suddenly it's not quite as miserable. So I definitely feel like even if one of you is working full time and the other one is home full time as, a parent or a housekeeper, there's still so much that can be done to share responsibilities.
Nice. I love it. I especially like how you started your answer with absolutely.
Absolutely.
That would give you some great pronunciation points right there.
Yeah.
It just starts the answer off really strong, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting. This vocab is going to boost your answers. Another good point, and we've said this before in the podcast, don't feel like you always have to be positive. Like your score is going to go down if you say anything negative or what you hate.
Right.
Absolutely not. The examiner doesn't care. They're just listening for great pronunciation and interesting vocabulary. They don't care about your opinions. You could be negative the whole time.
It's more about whether you want to answer yes or no. It's more about choosing the answer that has the most fuel behind it, the most material, right?
Yes, what makes the most sense, what you can share the most details about. Exactly.
Yes, totally. So I heard you use words like mundane. You also use drudgery in there. So you got a couple of those words right in there.
I think I said slog too. Like, cleaning a bathroom is a slog. I do feel that.
Yeah, really good stuff. Oh my gosh, it all is. Aubrey, what's another episode that our listeners could check out right now?
Yes, if you missed it, go listen to 1560, How to Brainstorm for this tricky Task 2 topic. We walk you through a brainstorm of a really difficult Task 2. And if you aren't practicing brainstorming, definitely listen to that episode and practice, not only writing essays, but practice that brainstorming chunk.
Really good stuff. Any final takeaway for today? I mean, we're likely to potentially get a question about chores on IELTS. Any other final takeaway?
Yeah, you can definitely get questions where you could use this, especially where you know it's likely that you'll be asked about work or study. It's not always fun, and we get that, right? So this vocab would be likely to be used in those first questions.
Right. It doesn't have to be a direct question about chores like housework. It could be, again, about work, the daily work, your career, because many people do feel that at some point in the day about their work. Sure.
Exactly, right? So you can share the things you love and then use this vocab to share the things that aren't so fun.
Love it. So good. Great stuff today, Aubrey. Guys, hit follow on IELTS Energy if you love our show. Aubrey, I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.